What's up, Home Skeleton, Smooth Singer 422, and welcome back to Let's Play Trauma Team. Last time we left off, we figured out quite a bit about how that researcher at USAMRIID actually contracted the disease. You remember the one that Gabe was working with? So yeah, and we found out like how it's transmitted and all that good stuff. So I was in the process of being stuck, and I'm not gonna lie, there's no way I would have figured it out. I used a guide, and I'll show you. There's no other. I don't understand. I would have thought of it. But let's take a look at these items. Hopefully there's still something that we can find. Yes, there is something. Look at this bulge. You see this bulge right here? Looks like there's something in the pocket. Don't know what it is, but... What the...
Is this a syringe? And drugs?
What the heck? Okay.
If this skeleton belonged to someone with a criminal history, whoever this is might be kept in the FBI's criminal database.
That's interesting.
If I ask Little Guy about this, it might be easy to find out just who this person is.
That's very interesting.
Is this a key? For what, though?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Maybe Little Guy will be able to find out something about it.
Okay. I guess that's it. Alright. Thank gosh. I never would have found out about that stuff. Sorry guys, I cheated. Alright. Mysterious key. This key was in a pocket. What does it go to? A nationwide group like the FBI should be able to find out.
Hey, Little Guy. Can you tell me what this key is for?
A key? Let's see. This is a very unique key. It involves magnetism.
Wow.
Magnets? What could a key like that be used for?
That's a great question.
Probably a safe or something else high security. Oh, there's a number on it as well.
I see. Can you find out where whatever it goes to is located?
I can look into it, but
What's wrong? Is there a problem?
we don't have a clue where this key came from.
That's true.
It'll take a long time to find out any specifics about where this key goes.
That's fine. It's still better than me trying to find this out by myself, right?
Well, we are a nationwide organization. Fine, I'll take the key.
Okay.
I'll let you handle this then.
Cool. So he took the key. Was this person a drug addict? That's an easy explanation, but I need to research why it's in there.
Little Guy, I need you to analyze something.
Yes, of course.
I found this in the deceased's personal articles. I get the feeling that it may be drugs.
I see. So you want me to run this through our criminal database?
Yes.
You're good at picking up on these things.
This is the kind of thing that we do at the FBI, after all.
Okay.
I'll look into what's in these ampules and see if the syringe has been used. It's going to take a while, so you'll have to give me time.
Of course. I'll keep investigating the corpse.
Alright.
Dr. Kimishima, the analysis of the syringe is complete.
The syringe. The one that was in the case?
Oh, yes. It's about that.
Okay. He didn't sound too...
Interferon, acyclovir, ribavirin, lamivudine.
What the heck?
Slow down a second. What are you talking about?
It's the medicines that were confirmed to be in the syringe and the ampules.
Oh.
All that was in there?
Seriously, I don't understand. Every antiviral drug on record is in this list.
Was this guy a doctor or something?
Antiviral drugs.
There was even an ampule of Ashvin's in there, too.
Ashvin's?
It's a medicine that hasn't been fully authorized by the FDA.
So how did this guy get it?
It's an excellent antiviral drug, but there were some problems with side effects.
Huh. Just what were these reported side effects?
Uh-oh.
Okay, let's see. Ashvin's is an antiviral drug. It draws on the patient's calcium to suppress viral activities.
Boom. Figured it out.
If used in excess, the subject will become calcium deficient. The body then draws calcium from the bones, and it leads to all sorts of complications.
So this guy didn't take like calcium supplements then?
A drug that robs calcium from the bones.
Well, that isn't its purpose, of course, but that is what happens.
So I still don't understand why this guy didn't take calcium supplements. Why he was taking this, if he knew what he was taking.
I see. Something bothers me about this, though. The deceased had a large amount of antiviral drugs in his possession, along with a dangerous, unapproved drug that caused calcium deficiency in the human body.
Right. This syringe case had doses of dangerous antiviral drugs that adversely affect the body. Okay. Severely weakened bones. It seems the reason for it was...
Yes, it seems that these can be used together. The large amounts of antiviral drugs found in the corpse's personal effects, and an ampule of Ashvin's, a dangerous antiviral reagent. The reason that Ashvin's was never approved was because
the antiviral reagent Ashvin's has a dangerous side effect, which prevented it from not being authorized by the FDA. That is, iron deficiency, uncontrollable crying, abnormal calcium consumption, sudden loss of blood pressure. I'm gonna guess this, but they worded this kind of weird for me.
Indeed, Ashvin's consumes large amounts of
I see what
calcium
they're
from the
saying
human
now.
body.
Alright.
A 50-kilogram person's body contains roughly 1 kilogram of calcium. 99% of that is in the bones and teeth. In other words, the side effect of the Ashvin's drugs is...
Because Ashvin's uses a large amount of calcium, people who are given it will undergo increased blood pressure, decreased bone density, loss of vision, formation of tumors.
Yes. What first comes to mind would be an abnormal decrease in bone density.
Yes.
Considering the information that's been gathered so far, this person likely administered the Ashvin's drug to...
Considering the information at hand, this person administered the Ashvin's to themselves, a patient, an enemy, random strangers. Just giving out drugs to random strangers. Okay.
Yes, themselves. The first piece of evidence supporting that is...
Man, they're making us find out everything. Okay. The first sign that the person was taking the Ashvin's was the fractured femur.
the complete fracturing of the femur, the strongest bone in the human body. Continuing on, the second point would be...
Oh my gosh. The second indication of Ashvin's use was loss of meniscus, shattered skull, amount of nitrogen in bones, traces of bones being shaven. Loss of meniscus? Yes! The car danger, because there was another one that I thought it could be, but I just went with it. The car dangerous injections has been obtained.
Yes, the loss of the meniscus in the left knee. Thus, we can deduce that the person's weakened skeletal system was due to the side effects of the Ashvin's drug.
Right.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Uh-oh. Okay. The massive amounts of antiviral drugs that this person had sorry, I got choked up. Indicates that this person was infected with a virus. I should combine this. The onset of hemorrhagic fever being caused by contact with mucous membranes is proof that it contains a virus. I should combine this.
Yes, it seems that these can be combined. These bones passed on the viral hemorrhagic fever via contact with mucous membranes. And whoever this was, they had been taking large doses of antiviral drugs along with a dangerous unapproved one. It's likely that this person was...
Due to the signs of Ashvin's use and the fact that the skeleton caused viral hemorrhagic fever in others, this person was a drug addict, using himself as a test subject, infected with the virus, a terrible doctor. I think he had a virus.
Yes, this individual had been infected with some kind of virus. That virus itself was...
If that's the case, then the cause of death was...
I should stop making conjectures. I need some hard evidence to back these theories up.
Come on, we know what it was. But I guess we should get hard proof, hard evidence to make sure, but whatever.
Hemorrhagic fever causes hemorrhaging from all over the body, along with other various conditions. If we could find traces of that disease...
Death by hemorrhagic fever has been obtained.
Hemorrhaging from all over.
Is something wrong?
Oh, well, we just received the results from the analysis. It says that the bloodstain on the person's clothing contained traces of saliva.
There it is.
Saliva? If that's the case, then that bloodstain was...
Saliva was found in the bloodstains on the clothing. That would mean that this blood was from a neck wound, vomited from a gunshot wound, a blood spatter from elsewhere. That seems familiar. Matching DNA has become traces of vomiting blood.
Yes, it came through the mouth, likely by being vomited. That would explain why there were no signs of damage to the person's clothing.
Correct. The bloodstains on the clothing were caused by vomiting blood. That could be a symptom of a disease. I suspect that this person died of a viral hemorrhagic fever. If only there was some evidence of that.
The bloodstain on the clothing was due to the person vomiting blood.
Right?
The viral hemorrhagic fever causes bleeding from all over, both internally and externally.
Yes.
Vomiting blood is one of the signs of this disease as well.
That's brutal.
This person died of viral hemorrhagic fever. The evidence that I'm drawing that conclusion from is...
The evidence that this person died of the viral hemorrhagic fever is the weakened bones, a wound on the abdomen, the fractured femur, the clothing was unchanged.
That's right. If this person was still alive after having had an attack of vomiting blood, I highly doubt that they'd go on without doing something about the bloody clothes.
Right.
Thus, the traces of vomited blood on the clothing indicates that this person died soon after this attack.
Right. There it is. Conclusive cause of death has been obtained.
We finally figured out the cause of death.
Yes. Long before the pandemic that is currently raging broke out, this person caught and died of the viral hemorrhagic fever that caused this quarantine. Who in the world are you?
Are you patient zero?
Dr. Kimishima, if I may,
Go on.
I've noticed something.
I'm all ears.
Well, this antiviral reagent, Ashvin's, it was rejected by the FDA for its dangerous side effects.
Okay. So, I'm just gonna throw it out there right now. I think this guy was a doctor. And I think I know who this doctor was. But I could be wrong, so...
That, along with the large amount of antiviral drugs, these things aren't available to the general public.
Here it comes.
You have a point. Someone who would have access to these things would be...
Someone who can obtain a large amount of antiviral drugs and dangerous reagents would be an FBI agent, a policeman, in the health profession, a famous billionaire. Well, maybe a billionaire could get it, but it'd be a lot easier for someone in the health profession to get those drugs.
Indeed. It would be someone who has the knowledge of these new drugs and their effects on viruses. It would also be someone who has the authority to obtain such information from the medical community.
Right. The card health professional has been obtained, and it's solid evidence.
That's what I think. Does that help a little?
It's fantastic. Let's move on to the next step. How can we identify this individual, little guy?
But all we have is the skeleton and personal effects.
That shouldn't be a problem. Or is my opinion of you overrated?
Ooh.
If this person is in the health profession, then the FBI database should have an entry. By studying the bones, we can narrow down just who this person was.
Why'd you ask me if you already knew the answer to your own question?
We don't have time for complaining.
Dang.
Look up details about skeletons in our forensics database. Send what you find over to my computer immediately.
Yikes. Give me a moment. There, I found them. You want me to send them over to you, right?
Now it's time for the grand reveal. Let's compare the skeleton's characteristics with our information. Then we can confirm just who this person is.
The card determining gender has been obtained. The card assuming age has been obtained. The card assuming race has been obtained. The card estimating time of death has been obtained. Man, that's a lot of cards. Okay. Different sexes have different pelvic shapes. Males have a heart shape. Females are more oval. What the? Can I just give these all to him? Oh, okay. The 15 amino acids present in bone after time of death begins to disappear as time passes. A high accumulation of nitrogen indicates death occurred roughly 2 years previously. Cranial sutures fuse as the body ages. The sutures become visible to the naked eye in the mid-40s, begin fusing it in the 50s, and have completely fused by the early 60s. So he was 40? So what can I do? Hold on for a second, guys. Wait, hold up. I didn't even notice these two.
15 types of amino acids were detected in the skeleton. There was a very high concentration of nitrogen as well. If I compare this information with the materials available...
We already read it. I'm not even gonna bother. The card time since death, 2 years, has been obtained. I'm pretty sure I know who this person is now. I'm pretty sure.
That's right. We can assume that this person died somewhere around 2 years ago. Someone had this disease 2 years ago? Long before this pandemic began?
Yep.
This fact alone won't get us anywhere, but if I consider it in light of other information...
Can I? Huh. No, I don't think there's anything left. I must have to... Oh, wait. I'm stupid. Yeah, here it is. Alright. So what am I looking at again? The pelvis?
There's no damage to the pelvis. I should look at its shape, just in case.
The card pelvic shape
You
has
can
been
determine something
obtained.
from the shape of the pelvis.
What else? The skull.
The cranial sutures have begun to fuse, but they aren't completely fused yet. This is what's causing the cranial sutures to resemble broken lines instead of solid ones.
Right.
I recall that the cranial sutures can tell something about a body.
Alright. And then last...
The skull has triangular orbital bones.
I had no idea that you could tell race by looking at the eye sockets.
Is there any information that can be deduced by the shape of the orbital bones?
Or orbital bones. Well, I think we're done here. Okay, let's get combining.
The German physician Blumenbach established a distinction of 5 major branches of human anatomy. One point mentioned in determining a person's race by skeletal features is the shape of the orbital bones. Comparing this with the materials at hand, this skeleton's race is...
Uh-oh. Okay. A good thing I remembered. Okay.
Indeed. This skull has the characteristics of a Caucasian.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually didn't know, but just from a feeling of who I think it is, I think I know. Okay, the sutures become visible to the naked eye in the mid-40s, confusing in the mid-50s. So he was 50.
That's right. A person's age at death can be determined from the state of the cranial sutures. The cranial sutures here have partially fused, indicating that this person's age was...
in their 50s. Okay. Age assumed around 50 has been obtained.
Yes, the fusing is consistent with that of a person in their 50s. In other words, it means that this person was around 50 years old at the time of death.
Alright. I should look at the overall shape of the hip bone. What kind of shape is it?
An individual's gender can be determined by the shape of the pelvis. According to the materials at hand, this skeleton's gender is...
It's both male and female. That would be interesting. Alright.
Yes, the pelvis is heart-shaped. Thus, we can deduce that this skeleton is male. A Caucasian male in his 50s who died 2 years ago and was familiar with viruses.
I think we know who this is.
All the information we need has been gathered. Now we'll be able to figure out whose remains these truly are.
It'd be funny if I was so wrong. There is now enough evidence to solve this mystery.
We couldn't identify this body after all. But there is an important fact that I understand now. First, let's sort out what we do know. We'll talk later. First is the time since death. The card with that is...
Okay. Let's see here. The amount of time that we estimated has passed since death has passed since the death occurred is...
Yes. The nitrogen and amino acids in the bones prove that. Remember, the body's soft tissue was gone before it was found. This suggests that the body wasn't underwater or buried. Next, I have the card stating the gender of the body.
It's now clear. It's clear now that this skeleton belonged to a health professional. What? Okay. I'm not sure what they want me to answer, I'm not gonna lie. So, not a health professional. A male? Oh gosh, I'm gonna get this wrong.
Correct. The shape of the pelvis, the face, and bones prove that.
So, never mind.
However, he had a thin build. He could hardly be muscular. Next, the age. This card tells our findings.
The age. So did they say the race? Maybe I just spaced out and completely missed it. Or the gender, I should say. Our investigation has led us to believe that what am I saying? Our investigation has led us to believe that this skeleton's age to be...
Yes, the cranial sutures have fused with age. This proves that this person was at least in his 50s. It's possible to determine his race as well. This card shows my conclusion based on the evidence.
Okay. Race. Caucasian.
Racial differences are mainly exhibited in skull shape. The eye sockets, cheekbones, nose ridge, it's clear. Our next clue is his occupation. Now, this is only speculation. But I believe this card shows what he did for a living.
I believe it does too.
Yes, if the items belonged to him, he was in medicine. In addition, it's likely that he worked in pathology. Now then, what was the cause of his untimely demise? This card shows that reason.
Yes, it does. Conclusive cause of death.
A virus living within a corpse long after the host dies. I don't want to believe it, but bones don't lie. The virus passes into the mucous membranes on contact. He died like the man Gabe diagnosed, hemorrhagic fever. He understood what was happening. He knew why he died. He knew, and it shows in the last words he had to say.
Here it is, guys.
That is the truth, illuminated by the light of this life. With this in mind, I can use the data to find an individual. He's...
Come on, Naomi, don't keep us in the dark. Even though we should know.
Hey! Hey, you listening? Where are you going?
Just be quiet and follow me. We need to talk to the chief. Chief, I'd like to speak with you.
What did you say?
It may be hard to believe, but listen to me, please. The bones Gabe came here with contained the infectious virus. But since the infection is not carried by air, the chances of these bones being a source of pandemic is low. However, they may still be a clue to finding a solution.
I can't believe the two of you could find out so much.
No, this is just a coincidence. Still, Dr. Tachibana should be done with a biopsy on the same virus.
Vector of infection's unknown, but we've ID'd it. You think we'll make it in time?
It's near hopeless. The disease advances too rapidly. The infected will all die before we finish the DNA analysis.
Damn it. Isn't there any other lead we can follow?
This isn't a clue, but I have one more thing I must report.
You must report?
I compared the reconstructed bones to our database. Only one person was a match for the data we had.
Who is it?
Prove me right.
Him?
Yes, Albert Sart, a professor of virology, who vanished after the Cumberland College incident.
Interesting. Okay. Alright. I wonder if this guy had anything to do with the virus. Let's be real, he had everything to do with the virus. Anyway, that ends it for this episode. I really appreciate you guys watching. I hope y'all have a great day/night, and whoops. Adios, home skillets.